Hello, beautiful souls. So this is a little bit of an impromptu video. I was walking my trash to the dumpster in my apartment complex, and I've lived here for almost 3 years now, and I've explored a lot of the surrounding woods and things like that. But as I was walking back, I saw this little path up into this little like oasis area between the two different buildings here, and it's like I'd never really registered it before. And I came in here and there's this gorgeous giant rock right here, and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And I was in the process of listening to some Abraham Hicks teachings, which has been my current go-to, which I've been just loving so much. And as soon as I stepped in to the little path, my video stopped. Just stopped. And I was like, oh, it was like such perfect timing. And I walked and I sat down and I just, I feel like what I was listening to in the video was really creating a very high vibrational space for me. I was really vibing with it. And when you are in higher vibrational awareness, things do appear differently to you. And I sat down and I looked up at the trees, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it up here. And I just came into this deep awareness that each leaf has a purpose. And we often see that the trees are growing leaves, but the leaves are really there to collect energy for the tree, and they're all beautiful and perfect and alive. And I was thinking about tree consciousness, and I just wanted to speak on that a little bit. Here on planet Earth, it's very easy when we see beings that are like us, whether if it's like animals or mammals, or it's like the closer they are to us, the easier we can see their consciousness. You know, we can see consciousness very easily in primates, but maybe not so much in a dog or a pig, and then a mouse, and then a fish, and then a bug. And a lot of us, when we get down to the plant kingdom, we just don't even see it as consciousness anymore. We see it as life, but not consciousness. But for a lot of people who work with the spirit realms and feel energy, you know, trees are very much alive and very much conscious, but their consciousness is so different from us that I don't think we really register it unless we have that deep awareness that everything is consciousness. But when you look at the trees, there is such deep intelligence, and it's amazing. And what I really wanted to talk about and have reference for is this really subtle energy that comes from tree consciousness. Tree consciousness, in my experience, is always deeply loving, very unresistant. There is almost no resistance in tree energy, and the reason that is because they can't really move anywhere, right? They just experience where they are. So their consciousness is very just allowing. And whenever I tap into tree consciousness, it's very loving and accepting, and it's like beyond peaceful. It's present. It's very gentle, knowing energy. And what's really cool is, I think, or what's interesting is, humans often see being non-resistant, allowing just that deep gentleness. A lot of people see that as weakness. You know, you have to go after things, you have to pursue things, you have to be aggressive. But trees are so vastly powerful. You know, they can go through an entire hurricane and not break. And that's because their strength is in their stillness. Their strength is in their rootedness. Deep, deep, deep down into the earth. And their ability to bend. They recognize that bending a lot of people, I think, believe that if they bend, they'll break, right? It's like, oh, if I let go of resistance, if I don't, hold tight, that I'll be destroyed. And what tree energy understands is their bending, their allowing, their flow actually is what creates their strength. There was a really interesting, I think a lot of people have tested this, but plants and trees that are in like big greenhouses or don't have that like resistance of wind and air often are not as strong as the ones that are in the forest. It's actually that resistance and that ability to bend that actually literally makes the tree stronger. So it's this really beautiful combination of being grounded, firm, and the ability to bend and flow and just experience what's happening and allowing for it to just be without resistance. And that's where the tree's power really comes from. And so their consciousness is, whatever consciousness decides to come into a tree being or a tree life, that's the experience it wants, right? And I think we really struggle with this idea of like, well, if it's not perceiving like me, how can it be conscious? But plants have different receptors. They experience the 3D differently. And we don't know how high up they experience. I mean, for people who do ayahuasca or mushrooms or these plant medicines, we recognize that plant consciousness definitely goes farther than the 3D, but we really don't know how far. I would say since they're part of source consciousness, they're infinite, just like we are. And that would make sense. But we don't really know how far the physical tree that has been manifested in the 3D, how far that consciousness experiences. Does it experience to 5D? Probably it's very connected to Earth. How far out does that go? We don't know. We don't even know how trees perceive. We could potentially conclude that they perceive light as most plants turn their leaves, right? And some people would just say, oh, that's a chemical reaction. But there's so much we don't know, even about our own brains, about instinct, which as Abraham would say, and which I would agree, is instinct is our connection to our infinite intelligence. And I'm gonna forget what the word is, but every species has like almost a neural network of consciousness. And so when one species learns something on the other side of the planet, oftentimes that same species will easily pick it up somewhere else. Yeah, I'm gonna completely, it's on spirit science if you look up spirit science. I'm gonna remember it later. So it would make sense that trees and plants would have that same, and I believe they do, connection to each other. And tree energy and tree consciousness is a powerful, powerful teacher. I often don't like to really go and hug a tree without asking. I've really gotten very conscious about the fact that these are other beings. And even though trees are extremely non-resistant, I do like to say can I share your energy? And I usually get that inner knowing, yes. And then I really just stand in gratitude of the powerfully grounding, present, still, peaceful energy that I receive when I'm in relationship with tree energy. And I feel like tree energy holds it more potently than even a lot of other plants do. Because trees are around a really long time. A lot of plants, they come and go depending on the seasons and all that stuff, but trees are there, and they can be hundreds of years old. And think about that trees are made up of water, and water holds memory and consciousness. And so imagine how much history is in the cells of the tree, how much wisdom it really holds just by being on Earth for that long. It's amazing. Most of these trees around me, maybe not these little ones, but some of these bigger ones are definitely older than I am. And so there's a little chipmunk. I hold great reverence for these really wise old beings. I have so much appreciation for the peace I'm feeling right now in this space. It is so healing. And it's really cool because earth energy is very healing, but engaging in earth energy with a tree specifically, I feel like it almost brings that earth energy like up, and so you can really like embrace it almost. The true definition of a tree hugger. Hi, little one. There's some people over there. But anyway, I just wanted to share my experience. I get a lot of comments on my experience with the Fae video, and a lot of questions about that. It's interesting. Whenever I make a video, it's kind of like it like leaves me, and then I don't often feel like interacting with it too much. If there's a question that really intrigues me, I might engage, but I'm always kind of moving forward. What's the next thing? What am I curious about? And I kind of hope that the video kind of just encapsulates the message that needs to come through at that time. And if I need to re-engage with that energy, I'll make another video about it. But I think a lot of people have a lot of curiosity about other conscious entities on our planet, especially in nature. And so this is kind of just like almost a little bit of like this has been my experience. Definitely comment down below if you've had, what is your experience with tree energy, tree consciousness? Have you ever experienced tree consciousness? How did you find this video? It's a very specific topic. Yeah. So I'm I can't even express in words how much appreciation I have for this space right now. It almost feels like a little cheesy, vegan cheesy. Because it's almost cliche, right? Oh, I'm feeling the trees. Oh. But it's real. It is real if you really allow yourself to be in the receiving mode, or being receptive to it. And when you realize that that's what everywhere in the world, you just have appreciation for each interaction with each individual experience. Like even this rock, there is consciousness here. There's consciousness in everything. In the little chipmunk being over there. You start recognizing that it's not just people you can have relationship, not just your dog, not just your cat, but every moment you are in a relationship. I can have appreciation for that. Even when you don't feel like there's anything around you and it's just air, there's all those guides and spirit beings in the non-physical, and you can always tap into that. There's always something to commune with. You are never alone. You are always having love experience, love in physical form, consciousness. It's all around you. It's within you. You are never alone. And it's all perfect synchronicity. It's all working together magnificently. And when you tap into that awareness, it just flows for you. It's pretty powerful. Even recognizing that the universe was setting things up for you before you even knew to ask it. Because your inner being already knows what you desire, even before you can really articulate it. And even the things that feel comfortable or in discord are actually there to assist you in moving you toward what you want. Because oftentimes we need that contrast to break up beliefs that don't serve us, or bring to the surface a belief that we didn't even realize was there. And that contrast is there to allow us to move through it and past it and create different beliefs. So sometimes what might seem like an experience that doesn't feel good, if we start recognizing this is the contrast that's helping me tune in. I'm still on the path whether I have contrast or not. That contrast is actually to help me realign myself, to tune in, to balance me. I see contrast as kind of like those bumps on the side of the road. When you start going off the road, it gets really loud and it's like intense and it kind of wakes you up and you're like, oh my gosh, but like that's actually what keeps you on track. It helps you tune in, and your inner being knows that. And sometimes the path of least resistance takes you on a journey that you don't quite understand. But through the contrast, through the tuning in, through the conscious awareness of that contrast experience, it actually gets you there faster. It understands the fastest route, even if it doesn't quite feel like that, or the most powerful route, or the most expansive route. Sometimes it's not the fastest, but it is the path of least resistance to get you to where you need to be, if you allow yourself to be in flow with it, if you allow yourself to acknowledge the experiences for what they are. Because you can get yourself off track, but if you're always in that allowing, say, okay, why is this coming up? How can I tune in better? You will get there quite quickly. And so recognizing that all experiences are for you to get you to where you want to be, because your inner being knows where you want to be. In fact, it's already there, which is amazing. And really, like, most of us feel so alone. And when you start coming into the realization that you are never alone, there's always beings around you that are so there for you, so focused on you that they're never not focused on you. And you realize the relationship with you and your inner being and your guides is so potent, and you just are always in that energy. The physical world will start reflecting that back to you, because that's what you expect. That's the energy you're in. And you will start creating community and love and relationships that hold that frequency, because that's the frequency and the expectation you're holding. And that is so powerful when you can allow yourself to really start believing that and feeling that. And I feel like, to kind of come full circle, that when I tap into, say, tree consciousness, or these consciousnesses that aren't so fickle like humans are, I really start becoming aware of that deep, unyielding presence that is greater consciousness, that is source, that is your inner being. And I am so thankful for that realization, because we're all on this journey, we're all awakening together, and I'm really grateful for that. That knowing coming in, and that I'm beginning to really accept it as truth. I'm in this like little like cove here with the trees. I don't even think they know I'm here. Don't forget to play with your inner child. Allow your inner child to have a little fun sometimes. All right, I am gonna go. Thank you so much for listening to this little consciousness ramble. Comment down below. What have you done for yourself today that was loving? Are you allowing yourself to see the love that is all around you? Are you opening to it? Why did you find this video? What made you come across this video? I'd love to know. Especially if you've made it 20 minutes in. So thank you so much, beautiful beings. Thank you for sharing this space. Even though I don't know who you are, I have appreciation for you, because this exchange was really special to me. I love seeing your comments and I love interacting. It's really, really cool. So you help me grow. You help me see things in different perspective. It's really cool. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and share it if you found it interesting. And yeah, All my other social media links are in the description down below. I have my Etsy shop where I do personal readings for people. I have my other social media, and I have my Patreon if you'd like to support the ongoing of my content. So thank you guys so much. Many blessings. Namaste. Don't forget, it is all about the soul journey.